friends. Welcome back to Raising Readers, an online story time from the Alpha Park Public Library for babies and toddlers. I'm Miss Sarah, and today our story time is about hats. So if you have a hat that you'd like to wear for story time, go and grab it now. I'm going to grab a special hat for story time today. I have a pirate hat to start off with. This is a fun hat. I hope it stays on my head. It's a little small. All right, let's get started with our wake up song. I've brought back our friend Bear, and he is ready to wake up all of his body so he can listen to stories. Let's start with our feet, because that's my favorite part to wake up. And then our nose and our elbows. So your elbow right here. All right, let's get started. If you've got a baby, go ahead and do the wiggling for them. Otherwise, if you're a big kid, let's get ready to wiggle. All right. Wake up, feet. Wake up, feet. Wake up, feet, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wake up, feet. Wake up, feet. Wake up and wiggle in the morning. Did you wiggle your toes? All right, let's get ready to wiggle our nose. Mine had a little itch. All right, let's wiggle our noses. Let me find Bear's nose so we can wiggle together. Wake up, nose. Wake up, nose. Wake up, nose, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wake up, nose. Wake up, nose. Wake up and wiggle in the morning. Good job. I'm going to set down Bear because he doesn't have very big elbows, so I'm going to use mine. Find your elbows. Ready? Wake up, elbows. Wake up, elbows. Wake up, elbows, and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wake up, elbows. Wake up, elbows. Wake up and wiggle in the morning. Good job. Does your body feel a little more awake this morning? All right, now that you're waking up, let's do a little rocking back and forth. And we'll sing about friends who read together. Oh, friends who read together, together, together. Oh, friends who read together will stay friends for sure. Let's read a book together, together, together. Let's read a book together and always be friends. Good job. All right, let's read one of our stories today. The first hat story I have for you is by a favorite author of mine. Her name is Mem Fox. She's from Australia. And this book is about the magic hat. And I'm going to need your help with this story. There's a part that repeats over and over, and it's about this magic hat that floats around. And I need you to pretend, or you can use your real one, whichever you have, that you have a magic hat and that it floats like this and floats like that. I want you to really wave in the air for me about where the hat could go. All right? Let's come in a little closer to the pictures. One fine day, from out of town, and without any warning at all, there appeared a magic hat. There it is. I wonder what kind of magic it has. Here we go. Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this, it moved like that. It spun through the air and over a road, and it sat on the head of a warty old toad. It turned the man into a toad. It is a magic hat. Ready? It's going to go again. Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this. It moved like that. It spun through the air like a bouncing balloon, and it landed on the head of a hairy baboon. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this, it moved like like that. It spun through the air from way over there, and it sat on the head of a sleepy old bear. Oh, the magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this, it moved like that. It spun through the air. It's true, it's true. And it sat on the head of a kangaroo. Huh. Lots of animals. Oh, get it ready. The magic hat, the magic hat. It moved like this. It moved like that. It spun through the air for 1.5 miles. And it sat on the head of a lofty giraffe. Oops. Get his nose in the picture. There's our giraffe. And then, with a skip, and then, with a hop, a wizard appeared with a sign that said, "Stop!" Right up there is this little bitty stop sign. So everyone stopped and stared in surprise at the wonderful wizard with the sparkling eyes, who took from his beard, with a nod and a wink, a wand which he waved. And what do you think? What do you think the wand did? The toad, the baboon, the bear, and the roo, and of course the giraffe, oh, what a to-do, turned back into people, dazed and confused, watched by a crowd that was highly amused. All of the animals turned back into the people. While no one was looking, the wizard, meanwhile, skipped out of town with a mischievous smile. Mischievous means kind of silly, kind of ornery. So he's got a special smile as he's sneaking away. And of course, on his head was the fabulous hat. Look at how tiny, right there. That made all of the magic wherever it sat. How did the book end? What happened to the wizard? That hat was magic, wasn't it? That was our story, The Magic Hat. Let's have a song together about hats. I'm going to change my hat because I brought a few today. I brought this very tall hat that reminds me of the wizard from that book. He has a very tall hat. Let's see if it'll stay on my head. Kind of pops up. Okay, so the song we're going to sing next is on your song sheet if you grabbed a pack from the library this month. And it's hats, hats, hats. Man, that's silly to say 3 times in a row. Can you say it 3 times? Hats, hats, hats. Good job. So this song goes to the tune of 3 Blind Mice, and it goes like this. Hats, hats, hats. Hats, hats, hats. I love hats. I love hats. Hats to wear for work or play. Hats for night or hats for day. Hats from here or far away. I love hats. Did you get that? Let me try it one more time. 3 times, remember? Hats, hats, hats. Hats, hats, hats. I love hats. I love hats. Hats to wear for work or play. Hats for night or hats for day. Hats from here or far away. I love hats. Hey, good job. Give yourselves a hand. Yay! We have one more silly hat song, and it goes to the tune of This Old Man, He Played One. We're going to sing that. On my head I wear a hat. It is such a silly hat that my head will wiggle, wag, waggle to and fro. Oh, I lost the tune. Ah, Miss Sarah. Miss Sarah lost the tune to this old man. We'll have to try that song again later. You can try the silly hat song in just a minute. Let's read our other story, because we always have two stories. Our second story is called, Do You Have a Hat? What's different about this book? There's snow. Oh, she has a friend. Her hat is to keep her warm, isn't it? When the weather gets cold, we get out all of our warm clothes, our scarves and our gloves, and it's starting to get cooler. Today was a really nice day, but pretty soon it'll get cooler and we'll have to get out all of these things. So let's find out who has a hat. Oh my goodness, look at this. Inside the front are lots of different hats. Oh, look at this one. It's a hat that has fruit on it, and there's a bird coming to steal the fruit. So this page has lots of famous hats on it. If you check out this book, you can learn more about the famous hats in this story. But this is Do You Have a Hat by Eileen Spinelli. Let's get a little closer. Do you have a hat? Something fuzzy, warm, and red to keep the snowflakes off of your head. Ooh, we have lots of hats here. Or maybe a floppy brimmed and blue when summer shines down on you. Do you have a hat? Do you have a summer hat? We talked about winter hats, but you can definitely wear a summer hat to protect you from the sun. Francisco de Goya had a hat with candles on the brim, a clever hat that suited him. Do you have a hat? Look, he made a hat so he could see himself painting. Stravinsky had a hat, a tattered, battered green beret. He wore it every single day. They say it never left his head, even when he went to bed. Do you have a hat? He made music. Carmen Miranda had a hat, a towering hat of plums and cherries, peaches, oranges, and berries. Plump bananas by the bunch, a hat her friends could eat for lunch. Do you have a hat? There's that fruity hat I was talking about. Wouldn't that be fun to have a hat with snacks on it? Ooh, Miss Sarah's gonna take off this hat for just a minute. Oh, I took it off and look. My hat matches the hat in this picture. Abraham Lincoln had a hat, a stovepipe hat, black and tall, a presidential carry-all. Abe Lincoln wore it round the town with documents inside the crown. He used his hat to carry papers. I didn't think of that. Nat Love had a hat, a cowboy hat to wear, of course, or carry water to his horse, to give a pesky fly a slap, or play the pillow for his nap. Ooh, cowboy hats have lots of uses. Do you have a hat? Isabel of Bavaria had a hat, a cone-shaped hat so very high, it poked a gargoyle in the eye. Ooh, a tall, pointy hat. There's another picture. Look at how tall and pointy that hat is. Walt Whitman had a hat, a rather old and shabby hat. At times, a makeshift table mat for writing poems in the sun or eating supper on the run. Do you have a hat? Aw, this poet had a hat. He used it to write his poems with. Ooh, tipping over. Louis Comte had a hat to close his magic act. A normal looking hat, in fact, but reaching in, as was his habit. Louis introduced a bunny rabbit. He was a magician who pulled rabbits out of his hat for a magic trick. That's fun. John Chapman had a hat. They say he wore a cooking pot. Some folks believe that, but some do not. If true, he was a sight indeed, a pot-topped sower of appleseed. So this is Johnny Appleseed, if you've ever heard of him. And his hat is a pot. Oh, our last one, I think. Amelia Earhart had a hat. So did Daniel Boone. It's true. Charlie Chaplin, Sally Ride, all of them had hats. Do you? So many famous hats. Do you have a hat? A fancy hat? A hat that's plain? A hat for walking in the rain? A hat with feathers? Flowers? Bows? A hat that hoots? A hat that glows? A magic hat? A cap? A crown? A country hat? A hat for town? A single hat, squashed flat or tall, is better than no hat at all. So many kinds of hats, which is what we sang about in our story time today. There are so many different kinds of hats and so many uses for hats. There are quite a few in that book. All right, before we wrap up our story time today, I want to show you the craft that we packed. And it is like the cover of our book, Do You Have a Hat? It's a winter hat. So this is a paper that is a cutout of a winter hat, but it has a little magic in it. When you take your paintbrush that came in your kit and your little watercolor, add a few drops of water to this, mix it up with your paintbrush, and paint this hat, you're going to reveal a magic surprise. So, I hope you enjoy it. A little bit of hat, a little bit of magic, just like our stories today. All right, let's wrap up with If You're Happy and You Know It. We're gonna clap our hands, stomp our feet, and shout hooray. Let's back up just a little bit. Here we go. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. Stomp, stomp. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. Stomp, stomp. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. Stomp, stomp. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray really big. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, shout hooray. Hooray! Hooray, friends! Hooray for hats! I'm glad we got to spend this story time together. I will see you again next week for another episode of Raising Readers. Take care.